Well, hello. Let's see. Yeah, the sun is shining outside, so I'm trying to dull it down with curtains and aircon. So sorry if you can hear stuff. But let's get cracking, shall we? Going to continue with the Copper Monkey series. This is going to be a payment system. So if we have a look at what I was doing before, great start to type in. Let's move that out of the way. What have we got? So we should have our green root and unit test. There we go. So we're in the middle of creating just the Cobra side of this. So if we have a look at the file, if it can pop up, I don't know why it's not popping up. Toggle File Explorer, come on. How much CPU am I using? Quite a bit. Oh, here it appears. Right, so we're going to build a basic Cobra CLI, just a very basics to get us going. We're then going to put some unit tests over the top of that CLI just to start the ball rolling so that we've got some TDD that we can get started with. I like something to begin with. You know, I know there's some diehards who do test-driven development and literally start off with the test only. I'm not that good. I can't think of it that way, so I don't. Right, so we've just got a root command at the moment, which is looking to create a new command. That command is then going to be the ability to add a payment data request. All of this needs cleaning up, I remember now. What I want it to do is I want it to look like that. So we do the copper monkey green, the command that we want, and the amount and the customer ID, and it will go and generate a payment request. It's not going to do the payment request, it's going to generate the payment request. Something else is going to process that payment request. So there are a couple of issues that I got. No active builds contain this. Consider opening up a new workspace folder containing it. Well, I don't want to do workspaces. That's not the life I want to live in. And also, when I was looking at the tests, I had the test in a different place and I moved it. And what I've done is, it's like I turned into a 4-year-old. I was trying to import a test from inside the test. So I was trying to import the green package inside the green package. Just let that sink in for a little bit. Don't know whether it was too early, whether I just not had my meds yet. I really just don't know. So let's see if we can fix this. Right, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. If we go to there and jump to definition, we should go straight to it. So that's the circular reference problem fixed. This is green, and we're trying to include green as well. What file is this? This is not the test. This is jump to test, but this is not the test file. I think this is root. Yeah. Why did you do that? Jump to file. Okay. Anyway, so we're in root and we're also trying to import, sorry, we're in green command and we're also trying to import green. I think on face value, what I'm doing is I'm putting too much in this area. What I really should be doing is I think I should be putting this stuff in packages and putting very slim amounts of data into this command structure. This really should just be about setting up the basics of the commands or calling them, and then the actual implementation of these are in packages instead. So but before I do that, before I start moving things around, let's see if I can actually get this to build and test now. So now that I've took that circular reference out for tests, so that it's no longer calling itself, and that should be able to run. I can now run this unit test and get the data back. Unit test is probably going to fail because of the location that it's in. No, sorry, because I've just not put a decent unit test in there. I don't think that'll work. But, and of course, it's always going to fail because I've just got a T error, just so that we know and so we can test it. Test that it fails. Fail first, pass next. What do I want to do? Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll create a new terminal because it's a pain in the ass bouncing between these windows. So I know there's some good NeoVim terminals, but for now, let me just dive into this. So dev, GoLang, Copper Monkey, Copper Money, sorry. Why? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want. Thank you. Ta. Go build. Go build. It's harder to type more letters than the wrong letters, isn't it? Nothing to build. Okay. Yeah. Cat make file. Make. It's also better to type the right letters in the right order. Build green. Yep. Let's see. Now let me see if I can zoom in for a little bit. So that's built. If we have a look at the bin folder, yeah, that's just made. So if I go bin, copper, monkey green, we get that. What I should be able to do is pass in like anything. Amount. Amount is say £12.99. So that's interesting. Oh, weird. Yeah, because it's a string. It's done that. Weird. Okay, but I'm working. Not in the way I want it, and sure as hell not in a way that I would put it in front of a product owner. But at least we're getting there, right? So cat make file, which is far more progress than I did in like the other 2 hour video in what, 8 minutes? Should I stop now? So cat make file, let's have a look what we've got. We would have tests. Oh yeah, so make file. In fact, before I start messing with the make file, go test and package. No tests. Oh, because it's not packages, is it? It's command green. I might need to go up one directory. So I'm still struggling with figuring out what the directory structure is for running these tests. Because at the moment, if I just do the test directly, so if I do like cmd green command, where's the unit tests? Command green, command green. So command green, command green. If I run that, obviously we get the failed, but I think that's just the failed because, oh no, undefined new root command. New root command. Jump to definition, new root command. So I've still got the same problem. I've still got it. So it's complaining that you should have like a Go work file, but I don't need a Go work file. At least I don't want one just for this. And it could also be that I've got other code in the GoLang samples which I've seen cocks the LSP up. So LSP restart. The LSP is not going to do anything, but it's saying undefined new root command. So undefined new root command in the unit test. So they're both package green. They're both in the commands folder though. Yeah. So I think this is where it needs to be restructured just a little bit, because my commands are in a command folder, but my packages are in a green folder, which is equivalently kind of one directory up. So no, you can't do that. So if I have a look at something, say for instance, the beloved radius, which is I'm just using as like a prototype, as a template for this idea. If we go to GitHub radius, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to restructure things to look a little bit like this. So we've got command, we've got the program that we want to do. Inside there is the program. We've got a main, which just includes the basic execute, right? And what we've got here, if I just move my stuff around to here, got here is main, and that is just running the execute, so that you can see that here is the same. Then what we've got is we're importing the radius command. So we're importing copper monkey command, green command. So let me close that. So what we're running here is copper monkey command. Why is that gone? Hello. So the radius is the name of the project. For me, I've got copper monkey is the name of the project. We've got command rad command, and we've got command green command, because our program is called green and their program is called rad. So then they're diving into commands, which gives access to this commands, and that's what we're doing here. And then in commands, there isn't really any code. There's a root, which includes kind of like the hookup. And what it's doing is it's hooking up all of the code to commands that are in the packages folder. So if we have a look at here, here's the root command. So how did main work? How did main get that back? We were just was that just being set up? Yeah, so command was just being used as a package declaration, not even as a new command like I had. And then, and I actually want to test the commands. It's something that I don't think's done in Radius. I don't think the actual commands are tested. I think the outcome of the commands are tested. So that's kind of like a different process, isn't it? It's a different way of doing it that I'm not sure I want to go down, especially at the moment. Start small, start simple, work your way up. Then we've got root command, and although this looks horrific, it's really simple. It's just a lot of boilerplate code for setting up a lot of commands, right? But if you look like the group commands, got the group commander which runs this, which will then set up the group. So the group commander, then when we set up all of the things, probably below here, there'll be a add commands and the big group commands. Okay, so at that point, we've got packages, then we've got, I think CLI command. We've got things like the group environments is a good one. Create, read, update and stuff. So this has the code not only to kind of get the ball running and do the work, but it also has all the new commands in it. So that is the new command which was set in root. It's got a lot of stuff that's kind of they've built around it, like this framework which can pass in lots of good stuff. I just want something far more simple. I can extend it later on to have this kind of functionality, but for now I actually don't want this. I just want to keep it simple. So we've got an execute command, jump to definition, which executes this, which runs this root command. And if I'm right, that's kind of what this does. Got the main, which runs an execute on this command, which is then command rad command. Yep. That runs this execute, which then does loads and loads of stuff, loads of clever stuff. But the core thing is it sets up the root command. How am I doing it? So we're just calling root command execute on this. There's a bit of initialization with the flags. This is why the root command currently has an amount flag. So there is no sub command at the moment. So we have initialize sub commands, and that's being called from the init function. So as it initializes, we've got that. We can set up the flags at the root level, but then we can set up sub commands. There's the framework that Radius is using just to set up everything up that's needed, all the variables, but forget that. There's a new command. They're using like this templating system to generate the new command, but there's a new command on each deployer which then passes in. No wonder people don't use these frameworks and just roll them, handball them. Because I ain't found a decent starter. In fact, I might make one. I haven't found a decent starter that says, right here, this, just copy this. This is primitive. This is basic. By the way, here's some like branches that have got it going up in more professionalism, in better features and tooling. So I've got a bit of a problem at the moment in that I want to be able to test this, and it's saying that it won't. It's saying undefined. Yep. So running it twice carry is not going to produce a different outcome. So green undefined new root command and failed, and that's because it just doesn't know where the stuff is. I don't think we need to do like a go mod tidy or anything, but it can't hurt. And the crazy thing is that we were able to do a make build green, and it builds without any compilation errors. If we try and then do a make, what was the test? I have test on a make cat files, and then make run green tests. That's probably hideously out of date because the code has changed. Okay, so I think the problem is that it's in the wrong place. So if I move it, then I've kind of got to move where my tests are. Maybe I shouldn't be testing the command level. Maybe that's the problem. I'm testing too early. In fact, if I just have a look at radius, and we can see they've got the create. This has got the create command, sets up the new command, which is then going to be a sub command. We have the commander, which gets created, and then that's returned along with a runner to help run this. And to pass in the parameters, there's a new runner there. We've got validate, we've got run. This is the stuff that's going to actually then do the work. Now, if we look at the tests, how are the tests being initialized? Because I'm sure they're being done at package level, at CLI level. Could have swore it was. So we've got, the thing here is that someone's put a lot of effort to remove boilerplate code and to clean things up and to put like patterns in, and that's great, but there's serious amounts of work done here to put this into this state. So input, yep, there's a string variable, we're running, we're setting up a load of validation rules, blah 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 blah, and then there's a runner at some point which will run it, which is once again abstracted away. Sometimes useful, it's sometimes a right pain, you know. So this loops through the test cases, runs it in the usual Go routine runaway fashion, which is fine. Mocks out what needs to be mocked, creates the test cases, runs it using the runner, sets the arguments, sets context, and runs it, and then returns back. So this is running it at the package level, but like way beyond what the amount of effort and time that I want to put in at the moment. There's no way I'm replicating this. So if I do GoLang Cobra subcommands examples, if I carry on, I'm just going to chat GPT it. So what I want to do is I want to move all of this out of here. We've got the root command. So root, we've got main. So what I'm thinking about now is moving the structure for this create request, create client request, and I'm going to move it out into packages, and that way I should be able to test it a little bit, should be able to run it and execute it. I'm still going to need the structure. So new root command. So I think actually I'll leave root command where it is. And what I'll do is I'm going to make the root command do nothing. I'm going to take out, of course, the amount, because that's just not needed for a root command. Maybe change this. I already get help, I think, so I don't think I need that. I've already got it for free within Cobra. So let's take that out. Let's take this stuff out. Don't need you. This is in command packages. Okay. Root command. What I want now, CMD. Yeah, that's fine. I found package green and root in green. This is the whole package thing, you know, it's naming. You've got a green test, but you've also got a root command, and it's because I think we really need to give it a little bit more thought than just throwing mud at the wall. I think we should really have built out a tree view, because I'm trying to use this pattern. Maybe I've made life harder for myself by trying to use this particular framework, this particular um, folder structure, if you like, and it's caused me to think in a different way, which is not always a bad thing. But if we now make a directory, make dir package green. Oh, already exists. Okay. PKG list. Column keys. Okay, let's have a look then. What have I got in here? Package green root. Yeah, of course, this is where we've got stuff like add payment request, hello world, and you know, if I follow the radius route, this is where the structure is going to go. So if I think about this now, if I go to green, test. Test, yep. What I'm going to do is go here and just delete this file. Yes. Now we've got main, which is going to go to root. Jump to definition, which is going to go here, which is then going to hopefully include then the packages green thing. And I'm going to have a new command structure within green to add a command. That's going to be the insert or request command. So let's go here. Add client payment request data. We need the command in there. And that will then put it in the package green and things will all start to look a little bit better. But in order to do that, I need subcommands. So Cobra's building modern CLI. So more and more documentation. Cobra homepage, what's possible, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to see if I can scan down. Always hurts me in the end because then I have to just go up to the top and read it anyway. It's like I never learn. So a project can be organized in a typical Go project structure. The Cobra command structure is hierarchical with the root command as the base point. Yeah. If the implementation of the subcommands is large and complex, the project can be organized into folders, which is where I tried to go for each subcommand as follows. So main command, main, then command. I don't know if main is in command. It's difficult to see. Package, then we've got command, and then subcommands. I'm not sure whether we need package commands subcommand, but hey, let's go with it. And then the root, and they're putting the root actually in the packages file, which I find interesting. I don't like it. I really don't. I want my packages to be free of Cobra stuff. What happens if I want to change? I don't want the thing that's doing it in with the code that's setting it up. So maybe I'll look to clean that up. My version of clean that up. So here we've got a root command. I've got a string utility, and when it runs, we're just going to print hello world type thing. This is a string utility. So when it runs, the default, that's what's going to happen. We set up execute for the root command and we can then run it. That's fine. If there's an error, we execute, and otherwise we can carry on. And we've got initialization code as per Go. The following is the main function. It is simply executing the root command execute. Yeah, that's the main, which is what we've got. Then when we do go run cmd main, we get the outcome. Now, what I didn't do was actually run this command. Why am I not tabbing? Clear. So what I want to do is make build green, and then once I've built that, I want to run this puppy, and we get requires at least one argument, which is not what I thought we had. So main executes that, jump to definition, goes to here. Oh, minimum args 1, so let's delete that. Run that, let's run that, let's run that, let's maybe build it first. Okay, come on, build, execute, hello world, that's perfect, okie dokie, so we're in the right space. Then string utility code per framework CLI application, blah, blah, blah. Add subcommands. Creating subcommands is similar to creating a root command. The subcommand can have independent options. Once the subcommand is created and registered with the root command, it will automatically appear in the help response. Nice. So got some crazy variables. I might as well have called them X and Y. New subcommand string. Cobra command, new command, yeah, substring, I get it. I kind of get it why you're calling it substring, because we're going to have a string utility, which I think I've already made about 17 of them, so you'd think I'd know this code like the back of my hand. Run function, Cobra command, get the value, print, blah, blah, blah. Set some flags up and run. Okay, so that is setting up a subcommand, which is almost identical to a main command. Kind of finding it difficult to find any difference. Probably isn't one. Then initializing root command, add subcommand. So this is where with Go, of course, there's a million and one ways to skin the cat. We're essentially saying we've got access to root command because we're in the same package. So if we look at that, we're in command. So these subcommands, so you'd think that they were subcommands, right? Which means that the package would be subcommand 1, subcommand 2, and then they would be referencing the root command. So I'm interested to see if they've got the actual code, like as a GitHub that I can have a look at to see how they've done that. So then add the subcommand, root command, add subcommand, add command, and then subcommand new. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Other way around. That's a lot better. I was going to say I'm not doing that. So root command is then going to the subcommand and getting its children and then adding it, which is why you got subcommand and then that, because that's the package and that's the function of that package. So let's see if I can just set up a very, very, very basic example. What I'm going to do is, what are these? So these are the parameters that they're going to be passed in, starting index and ending index. So it's getting the slice and taking the value out and returning the substring, as the name kind of suggests. So what I'm going to do is copy this. And let's go back to here. Okay, let's go here. PKG. Pikachu. I just can't think of anything else that it could be. Make dir substring. Str thing a bit all day. Touch. Substring. Want of a better word. Go. Okay. I don't know why I've just started typing random nonsense. So what have we got? We should have packages. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Refresh. Substrings. Substring. Copy that. So package. What the hell is all that? Oh, I thought I'd disabled that flaming thing. So package substring. I really need to delete that because it's and I keep saying it every time, but me and that don't get on. That meaning I've got this helper tool, words, Gary, a Vim plugin which helps autocomplete in such a horrible way. Am I supposed to? I wish you'd help IntelliSense that. There is a way of doing it. Come on. Come on. Right, okay. What is it? It'll be in main, I think. 24 up. I think. Substring. Let's go here and p this in. Right. Format as well. Format. Okay. Um, should have a thing. I have a thing that will fill the references out for me because who the hell can remember the references, right? The imports. Anyway, I'm not going to waste time on this whilst doing that. So I've got that. I've now need to register this sub command. And once I've got the sub command, I can then just start messing with it and just changing it to fit my needs. Start building out them contracts that I've been saying for like the last 5 hours that I'm going to build. So let's add this. Let's go back to root and where do we add the sub command? So the thing is that we're adding the sub command in root in it, which is fine. So in it, P, can I just, no. How do I yank P straight into the bottom? Okay. Right. Buffer. It always confuses me this. It's Copilot, but it looks like it's code that's in there. It's not. Although it looks like there is a problem, but why is it not telling me what that problem is? LSP restart. Should have that as a shortcut by now. Oh, sub command. There we go. Obviously. Duh, come on. Wake up. 30 up. So let's include substring. I think that was Copilot more than LSP. Right. I could not import. Current file is not included in workspace module. I don't know. Really don't know what your deal is, but let's follow it through. GPL Taylor Copper Monkey. No, that's not it at all. V and delete. Insert, so be, what would it be? PKG, and then just substring, I think. So if I did ls pkg substring, I get nothing. Why? Why? Have I put it somewhere else? Like an absolute moron. Can I not just get basic, you know, files in folders correctly? Apparently not. Apparently, I actually can't get files to go into folders. Oh my god. Right. I don't know why you're doing that. Go back to your command prompt. Here we go. CMD packages pkg. Wow. pkg. I'm already in packages. Substring. So we need to move substring into substring. I know what I did. Didn't change directory. Okay. And working directory, I think I'm one up, so let's go back down and make build green. No errors, which is good. SP restart. And the sub command here was substring as its value, and then you could pass in a string, give it a start and end index, and it would hopefully then just return back that, which is interesting. So if I now go here, I think I built it already, but I'm just going to do, if I get my fingers on home keys, make build green. Then if I do bin home keys, if I do bin copper monkey green, and what was it? It was substring. In fact, if I just run that, do I get, because it said it give us help, didn't it? Yeah, so you got substring there, you see. Substring. And that will be, this is very cool. And it'll probably, yeah, because I've not given any values, and there's no validation. So maybe that's further down in the tutorial, so I'm not going to gasp in horror just quite yet. But what we've got is start index and end index. So start index at 2, and then end index at 3. Let's go 4. There we go. And we're getting is, and if we do like 6, we can then get is I for the second and sixth. Here's an interesting point. What is it? 1 and 4 are, yeah, this, and then 1 is. So the debate online at the moment, if you're watching all of the peoples who know things, debating about indexing, index 0 and index 1. Of course, the starting at index 0 gave this, and starting at index 1 gave his, because you got blocks of memory, and each block of memory has got a number, kind of. And the first one, notice the wording, the first one is actually 0, because 0 is considered a thing. If you count bits, if you've got a 16-bit computer, you've got 0, 1, 2, and so on, because the bits flip. So the fact that you've got a bit there that's turned off doesn't mean that you haven't got a bit. You've got a bit that's got a Boolean value, true or false, but that's your bit. And then as they flip, you go. So you've still got 8 bits, and that's 256, I think, bytes. And so you've still got that data set as such. And when programming, it just was a common thing for people to do 0 and upwards. But it kind of made programming strings and working with things really difficult, because you would get the length of the string, you would have to -1 from it. So that's a bit of a fun debate going on at the moment. I learned C. That was kind of, apart from basic, C was really my first language that I really dove into. So I was messing with pointer references and doing pointer arithmetic. So index 0 feels very, very natural to me. However, I've been stung so many times with the length of strings, and so has every buffer overflow exploit on the planet, right? It's generally something wonky with calculating string values or calculating lengths of things. But I just thought, while we're here, I'd dive into that debate and give you my 2 cents. Not that anyone really cares about my 2 cents. I just thought I'd get it out there. Right, the cool thing now is we have got a skeleton 3-4 hours in, where I can actually start messing with this now. Don't know why I'm using my mouse. I can actually start messing with this now and looking at the contract and looking at what we want it to do. So if I go up here and refresh this tree view, now that things have moved around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually spend a little bit of time, I think, on no, I'm not. I'm going to spend no time, because that's not was the point of this. Add client payment request. Add client payment request data. So this is an add client payment request. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a sub command for this. So if I go here and take this and then yank this function, GG, actually no, capital G to go to the bottom, and yank this, and then let's go back up to here. And I think it's probably wise to put it around here somewhere. And what I need is, don't need you anymore. Don't need you for the meantime. Go to you. Let's copy this. Should have really just copied the whole damn thing. Okay. New command. Delete in string. Add client payment. Add client payment request. Bit of a mouthful. delete in string, inserts, add, not let go, requests for a client payment to be processed. Yep. And alias, I want alias to be add client payment request, just for the geeks, right? And we're gonna need exact args. Oh, actually, that's a bit. I don't want exact args. I kind of want minimum args. So I wonder if that's even a thing. Were you listening to me? Has this gone sentient now? XD, yeah. So there's a client payment data request data, so I kind of want that. So if I have a look, this is just doing vars like that. But I like to do vars. Add client payment request. How's it work? How's it work? Been in C# all week. But we want that to address of that. I generally like to wrap things in vars. I don't know why. It's probably the C# in me. So expected declaration found, add client payment data request. Okay. So maybe there's a different way of doing it when you've got to do it this way, but it looks like, let's see. Is my brain beginning to slow? So I'm not going to spend half an hour just staring at this like a moron. What I'm trying to do is create an instance of client data add client payment request data, which I've done like a billion times, and for some reason doesn't seem to want to work in this context. I do not know why. If I look at, it's probably scope, isn't it? Where it's being defined. So if I do it like here, data equals add client data request, and make it a pointer address reference, then data not used. So yeah, it's the way it's being created. It had var data and then what we've got is we've got this. What I want to do is actually put the data in. So for instance, the customer ID and the amount can go into here. If that's even possible, which I think it is. So if I just do data dot customer ID, deleting word, insert customer ID, then here insert data dot amount. So customer ID, so customer ID is a string, so we obviously can't use a default value of 0, which is a terrible default value to begin with. That's even worse. Then amount. Why is it thinking it's an int? Oh, yeah. Taking an int value. So all of this needs, I need to set it before I need to look at the data types. So string val p. String value defines string flag for specified name, default value, and usage. String p is like string var, but accepts a shorthand letter that can be used, which is what I want. Delete word. Delete word. Insert string var p. String var p. Can it use -1? Yeah, that's expected. -1. Yeah. Delete. Okay, maybe you don't want to delete. Hello. 0. Once again, terrible default value. And of course, all of this is now nonsense, right? Because this is not the world that we're living in. So does this look right? Green is all the green, by the way, was there was a project map that I did where we had making a payment request, then processing payment requests, then sending that payment request off to a third party like maybe Stripe, I don't know yet. and then another bit which will take that response and send it back. And all of this at the moment I'm just doing as commands that you run. Make a payment request, then process a payment request, and then send the payment request. It's all a bit in the air at the moment, but the idea at the moment, it doesn't matter about the next bit. We'll learn from this bit. The next bit will become evident when we've done this bit. A lot of people want to spec everything out and whiteboard it and come up with some master scheme plan like we're still doing waterfall, like we're all engineers. We're not frigging engineers, we're software developers, and software development is flexible and gooey, not engineering like we're building bridges. We don't know what we're building until it's bloody built. Anyone who thinks otherwise, he's living in cloud cuckoo land. Cuckoo land. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Good book. Anyway, I think I'm going off topic. What am I doing? Add client payment request. I put the command in. Then got some inputs for customer ID and amount. So if this is right, what I should be able to do is VI word yank. I should be able to build this now. Make build. And now that's built, I should actually be able to go to bin, copper monkey green, add payment requests, amount, £12.34. New route command. Oh, I didn't register the command. Where should I do that? Probably here. Let's. What the hell was all that? Just pasted that in like a lunatic. Yank down. B. There we go. And I could have typed it by now. Do you know what? Cancel deleting word. What we're going to do is we're going to do green. And deleting word. New subcommand. Let's change that. It's green because that's the thing that I'm working on, but this is still add client payment request. Subcommands for add client home keys payment request. My fingers just ice skate across the keys, and I somehow just think I'm going to magically hit the right keys. Oh, what have you done? What have you done? VI word, not deleting word. Yank. Yeah, that's about right. Let's look at you. Let's go to here. Let's fix this. So when I include green, I should now be able to do new subcommand, add that. I don't know why you went all okay, because I've not added the green package as far as I'm concerned. Thank you. Yeah. So let's go here. Package green. Right. Okay. Then new CMD. Jump to definition. Awesome. Make. And then let's run. These pointers. I'm messing with data in pointers and then accessing it as like it's data. Pointers. You gotta love them. You've really not. So I don't know why IntelliSense did that. So I need to look at some examples of this because I don't normally declare my variables like that. And I'm not 100% sure of the scope because normally I still use Go like C sharp, so I kind of like have structs that I use as classes, and I'm still in that world. So I'm still trying to get myself trained into the Go dojo. But um, if we have a look at that, what we're doing here is we've got a data and we're dereferencing it by getting the address, um, which is not the right way, I don't think. Yeah, so cannot use data.customer ID. I don't even know if what I'm doing is the right way or the correct way of doing it. Sure as hell don't want to set up 5 different variables for the same flags that I've got in my struct. I would like to use an instance of the struct and put the data into there. It just feels better to me, but maybe I'm going too far. Maybe I need to stop doing that and just simplify it. So same thing, cannot use data customer ID variable of type string as a pointer string value in arguments to command header. So there's a pointer, which is the address. It's the value. If so, string would be a pointer. The star would be then the value. Okay. So I wonder what that would be. So if we made this an address bubble, that would make it a pointer to an address value, and then we should be in a better state. Syntax error unexpected, expected type, right? So we're not even living in this world, right? Yeah, interesting. I need to understand what the scope type is. So, here we've got verb, but we're doing the shorthand, of course. That's going to give us strings, but these are just types. But that then, all right. Well, if we look at that, like for instance, get limit, which isn't even used, great. It's sort order. That's taking the address of sort order and pushing it in. So maybe I can do the same type of thing. But I think I tried that. Now we've got don't think it likes it on such a complex type. because what would customer ID be? It's not going to be a point. Well, if that's the address of this object, then that's a value within that type. It should work, right? So should I type in chat if anyone knows? Should have got everything written. Let's build and run. Error requires at least one argument, receive 0. Really? Did I spell it wrong? Or did I spell add client payment request wrong? Was it S's? No, so add client payment request requires at least one argument. Is that something that's just coded in here? So minimum number of args. Oh, args are not flags, are they? So I'm getting into the validation at the moment. That's going to be a separate piece. So I'm not going to focus too much on that for now. Make build and run. Awesome. Adding client payment request 12. So that's a nice way of being able to get that data. I can now start adding more flags and populating. I can also think about the action, the request of the amount. If we look at this, because we are doing this command, vi word yank, what we want is that the add client payment request data needs to be that type. So data dot action should be that. So if we're thinking about event-driven architecture, then this is the event, and if we were using a queue, that potentially might be the name of the queue that it's going to go into and would then be read from. That action is then set in stone. Realistically, I would want it to be an enum, not that they exist in Go, but I need it to be something a bit more staticky, concrete than this little GUI string here. So I need to think about that. But either way, at least it's been set here. It's been set in one place, which is good. And then we can do the work. And now I can start thinking about getting this data, changing the types, adding a little bit of validation on it, put in a unit test in here, and then the next bit is to work out the database. And I think that's going to be the fun part. Create a new package, go into there, start testing it. Might even crack open Visual Studio Code so I can debug and step through. I haven't got the debugger set up in Vim yet. It's just for fast editing so my fingers don't hurt. So this is looking good. So it's looking good. So I'm going to call it a day, I think. Let's make sure everything was saved. So write to all buffers. Let's have a look at my to-do. See if I did anything on my to-do. Review and fix why unit tests are not running when using Go test. Well, that's because my packages were to shit. I'm calling things different names and calling it the wrong thing. So it ain't gonna work. It just the way it is. Sometimes things have to line up. Move new root command into package folder and place under the green package. Tick. Build on the unit test. Create the struct and contract commands and keep a testing platform. Yeah. Think about a DSL testing platform. Way too soon. Way too soon. Add Cobra commands to green using Cobra. Yeah. Add validation. Nope. Create REST API endpoint. No, not yet. Insert. Let's start working on the data repository. Repos. So I need to think about that. Of course, at the moment, we've only got the one command to create the payment request, and that's just going to get stored into some database somewhere. So that's dead simple. So that will be like a package repository. Technically, each vertical slice should be its own database with its own schema and stuff. But for now, like I said, we're only focusing on the green slice, so we don't need to get there yet. And once I've got them commands, I can then start fleshing that out, and then I can then put an API in front of this, and then things start to turn into real boys then. Technically, what we're in an hour and 20 minutes, so a lot of chatting, a lot of discussion, a lot of messing about, a lot of playing. But realistically, within what now, 4 or 5 hours, got a fully working, fully fleshed out system that I can now go anywhere, right? I can go to let's go to main, and now I can go straight to the execute command. I can see the commands that I've got. I can add sub commands. I can jump to them and start making changes, right? I can then, go all the way back and start playing about and jump to that and make changes. So this now starts to get really quick. Setting up a project is a nightmare. Setting up a greenfield project when someone says, "Oh, I kind of got an idea. I kind of want to build something that does a payment gateway," and you look at them and you think, "You want to set up a payment gateway? Do you know what complex a payment gateway can be?" Forget that conversation. Start off with the basics. They know they've got a customer. They know they want to make a payment, right? That's what this is. It's the initial payment request. What does it look like? And all of this will change because when we get to the actual real payment system, like let's say we're connecting to Berkeley's back end system because we're billionaires and we've got access, then the data that you're going to need is not here. It's not in this data contract, is it? If I go to main again, if I can find the contract, if I go to add payment requests, jump to that and jump to this add payment data, add client payment requests. There's going to be far more needed than that, I can promise you. So, but now we've built a system that's changeable, scalable, cleanable, reliable, maintainable, all the bubbles. We've now got the very basics. So I actually think now there's going to be some really good fun. We're in a position now to just scale this out and play with it on the command line. Over the next few videos, this is all going to get deleted. It might get replaced with Cotta, Coyote or something, sorry, that can just generate all this code automatically from an API. That doesn't matter. The fact that we build this and delete this, like I'm going to deploy all this manually by hand, but eventually it might all just be, workbooks and, Lambda functions. Who knows? It all depends on how it feels and what the best place it should go into first. designing an architecture in this up front, what's the point? We don't know what it is. We don't know what it looks like. It's like when Facebook was trying to, if you watch the film, the great comment is, you know, you want to add ads. We don't want to add ads. We don't want to add a database. We don't want to add Kubernetes yet because we don't know what it is yet. Same thing. Anyway, I hope you've had fun like I have. I am going to commit this, and basically, as always, I am